Well, hello there. Hello there. Once again, hello there to all you wisdom walkers out there. I forgot to put my opening little title up. It was me first. That's because this energy, it's really, really crazy. But I am so grateful that I got everything together. I finished on time so I could be here with you to give you the remaining information in astrology for the rest of July. Boy, it's been a time. Let me tell you, there's so much going on. Hey Michael, good evening to you. Thanks for listening and watching in. Yeah, it is this is it, Michael. This is packed. It's packed. That's why I had to do a separate video for you just on the new moon in Cancer and that shifting of the nodes. And now you get some more information that it spreads out. It broadens. It broadens. But to me, all of this is about us finding our inner courage. Finding our inner courage. When I have a great book that I recommend for everybody, it's by this wonderful poet, spirited man named Mark Nepo. And he is a poet, so his writing is so poetic, but he's just giving these wonderful, wonderful, like very short essays, 2 pages, 3 pages long, talking about finding our inner strength, talking about doing the inner work and why it's important. And yeah, and because this month we are being really pulled into that. We're really being pulled into, you got to go in. Got to go in. I was just at one of my newest favorite cafe, and I happened to be sitting in earshot to a group of women, mature women, probably in their 60s or 70s, and affluent. And their whole conversation was about material things, the car, a house, and it was just interesting that there was no deeper conversation going on, no conversation about what's happening in the world, what's happening inside their world. And again, no judgment. I know everybody's not wisdom walking, but for those of us who are, we should be so grateful that there is a deeper understanding and a meaning that you have in your life. So, without further ado, I'm going to take us through this astrology for the remainder of July. And I'm going to start with the reminders about what this time in July is about for us from 2 of my favorite astrologers. Lena Stevens says, in some ways, July is a continuation of last month's theme of intuitive choices, although this month you have the opportunity to anchor those choices according to your personal truth and ability to truly have what you want. There are big energetic changes this month, no lie, supporting the need to engage your will, good boundaries, and positive action steps, leading you closer to your essential goals. This may require more letting go of old invalid programs of cultural imprint, as well as the courage, there we go, to step forward into a new landscape. And that's Lena Stevens on the Power Path. And Astrobutterfly says July is a big month. In July, we have 2 major transits that only happen every 1.5 years on average. When big shifts like this happens, life gets busy, changes arise, we shift our focus. In July, big things are coming your way. Pluto squares the lunar nodes for pretty much the entire month, inviting us to break the generational cycle and heal deeply ingrained and behavioral patterns. Chiron's stationary retrograde will help us take ownership of our generational wounds. Our wounds are not our fault, but that doesn't mean we don't have a responsibility to ourselves and future generations to heal them. Yeah. Really, really good in a nutshell. So I'm sure, I'm sure already there are those of you who the old wound stuff has been pushing up. And just know it's an opportunity to get free. It's all about liberation. Yeah, that's what we need here. So let me jump back to Monday and tell you that on the same day that we had the shifting of the nodes of fate and the new moon in Cancer, we also had Mercury in Leo squaring Jupiter in Taurus. And again, a square is just a tight energy, again, more stuff being pushed for us. This one says you will have to pay attention to how you express yourself. You may get too cocky, which could be arrogance or bigotry in your speech. Your optimism could get a little out of hand, so don't promise too much or overestimate your abilities when making plans for the future. This aspect brings cutthroat energy. Don't be tempted, or you'll do something you'll be ashamed of. Yeah, yeah. And that square energy, when it shows up, it's really there to help us just become more conscious about the fear reaction we may be having with a person, with a situation. And of course, our job is to let that go. Choose the love, pull yourself out of it. It's a new day, it's a new earth. Now, we jump to today, and we've got two aspects that I want to share with you. The first one is a trine, which is a flow energy. This is the Sun in Cancer trining Neptune, which is currently retrograde in Pisces. This is a good aspect for looking at the world with an understanding eye as we become more empathetic, compassionate, and caring for the struggles of others. Be gentle, especially with yourself. And again, that's what's happening today. I always like July the 20th. It really always has a good vibe to it. And also today, we have an opposition. And again, opposition is a little tight energy. So today, we're getting that seesaw kind of energy. And this is, again, just to help us become conscious. This is Mars in Virgo opposing Saturn, which is currently also retrograde in the sign of Pisces, my sign. And this frustrating aspect can leave us disappointed and angry when dreams we work so hard on don't work out. Have and be patience. Yeah. Because I think what this aspect is doing is really helping you, giving you a hold up. If this is applicable to you, it's giving you a hold up. It's telling you, wait, 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 like when you're at the street light, because there might be something coming that could really knock you off. And so even though you may be experiencing a no or some kind of a barrier or block, just have and be patient. Yeah, because there's something more coming. There's something better coming. Don't despair. Don't give up your hope. Yeah, absolutely. And this time that we're in, that's why I mean, I'm in my title for this, Find Your Inner Courage, because adversity is going to show up. It's just going to show up. And remember, my theme for the year is adversity is our key to success. And I've lived that last month into this month, and it's real. So we can be okay. We're going to be okay. We are okay. We just have to keep doing our inner work. So here's tomorrow, and we have another opposition showing up. This one is the Sun in Cancer opposing Pluto, which is retrograde in Capricorn. See, we got all this retrograde planetary stuff going on. And this says there's a conflict that requires integration. We do this by learning to let go of egoic concerns while at the same time building inner strength and resilience. It's time to act from our higher self, not from our egoic self. So this aspect also, is in alignment with the energy of today. So it's kind of like this kind of continuation of some adversity showing up, and you get a chance to choose that love over fear. Yeah. Now let's jump to Saturday, the 22nd. And Leo season shows up. Woo-hoo-hoo. Happy birthday to all you Leos out there. I've got a few Leo people in my family. And as it says here, no matter what your sun sign is, this is the best time of year to embody the sun's qualities: authenticity, confidence, courage, radiance, warmth, and generosity. Yeah. So we're moving out of Cancer season and into Leo season. And Leo season, again, is a time to strut your stuff. Despite whatever adversities are coming up, it's really important that you remember the truth of who you are, remember your purpose, and know that the universe is always working on your behalf, always trying to work it out, trying to get it good. Yeah, absolutely. So now we jump over to this really important, like super important. I can't tell you how important this one is. This is Venus going retrograde into Leo. And look at the time frame. It'll be from July 22nd into September the 3rd. That's a pretty long time. And in fact, it comes to something like 40 days, according to Astrobutterfly. And 40 days is really important. I'm going to give you some more information specifically about that. But on June 5th, Venus, the goddess of love, moved into royal Leo for an unusual 4-month period that ends on October the 8th. So this is a really long and unusual time for Venus to be retrograde. Now, Venus is one of our personal planets. The inner planets, have an impact on us personally, and the outer planets have impact on us collectively as humans. But this is one of the personal planets, and it rules over, our value, how we value ourselves, how we look, beauty, money, comforts, and of course, love of self, love of others. So this is a sacred 40-day period that we're being given to reflect on how we interact, socialize, and relate to one another. When Venus goes retrograde, all this subjective inner reality is up for review. Is that thing still important? Does that activity still bring us joy? Do we still love that person? Yeah. Yeah, this doesn't happen often. This doesn't happen often for Venus to, again, be retrograde and in the same sign for such a long time. So that's why the astrologers are really, really taking note of it and really emphasizing it. So here are some more wisdom and insights from two of my favorite astrologers. This one is Narayana Montufar, and she gives this information about the effects that this will have from July 22nd to September 3rd. So most intense for unexpected events will challenge the stability of relationships for Taurus and Leo, as previously repressed feelings are unleashed. Embracing freedom and spontaneity will be the antidote for them. Most challenging for, due to Venus's close proximity to Earth and the rarity of this planet's retrograde, it only occurs every 18 months, Venus's retrogrades affect every single sign to a certain degree. However, Taurus and Libra tend to feel this retrograde the most. Yeah, Taurus really being worked over. And last but not least, most beneficial for fire signs, Aries and Sagittarius will benefit the most, as this retrograde forces them to stop and notice the beauty all around them. This will lead to newfound calm and inspiration. Yeah. So I like that. I like that, she's looking at, based on, how the energy is moving, and giving some folks a heads up. So Taurus, Leo, Libra, and Aries and Sagittarius. Yeah. And then Astrobutterfly talks about this again, this 40-day period, as an alchemical process of transformation. And that's for all of us. She says there's no coincidence that Venus is retrograde for exactly 40 days. The number 40 is sacred in pretty much every religion and is usually associated with the fulfillment of promises, but only after a period of testing, trial, and probation. Yeah, that's what initiation is about. We get thrown into something new. We got to test it out. We got to learn. We got to grow. We got to release. Yeah, we got to expand. She says Jesus was tempted in the wilderness for 40 days. Buddha is said to have fasted and meditated for 40 days before reaching samadhi. The purpose of the quote unquote trial or the retrograde period is to guide you back to your heart, to help you get in tune with your truest desires, to help you discover what really matters to you. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah, I know it's painful because I know some folks going through this right now. I'm on the outskirts of it because of, I'll just say I'm on the outskirts of it because I've been doing my work for such a long time. So I don't have to be totally in the thick of it, but I know people that are. And again, it's really designed for what she's saying there to help us discover what really matters, who we really are. And you're going to see some more information in the cosmos talking about that in just a minute. But I think if you think about these 40 days as an alchemical process, think about it consciously as, oh, I am going to be stretched and grown. I am going to get access to more of the truth of who I am, what I want, where I need to be, all of that. Yeah. And as the challenges show up, whether it is a health challenge, whether it is a job challenge, whether it's a relationship challenge, just know that there is great treasure in it for you. And you really can look at it and experience it from, I'm being stretched and grown. Yeah. Yeah. And that don't mean it's not going to be hard. It's hard. It's hard stuff. All the initiations I've been through, and am going through, it's always a challenge, but I know that when I think about, oh, this is how the universe works. This is what's going to make me more of who I really am. Then it's easier to walk that path a little easier. I don't try to look for somebody to blame. I'm like, oh, okay, this is it. But it's going to be better. I'm going to reap the rewards. So, think about that. And I would say combine this with thinking about, back to your annual commitments. What is it that you want out of this year? Where is it that you want to end up out of this year? And I would really, really encourage you to think about how you want to be feeling versus what material things you want to possess. No, how do you want to be feeling? Because then the right material things, the right relationships, the right living space or whatever can show up to support you in that. Yeah. Do you want to be peaceful? Do you want to be calm? Do you want to be not in worry? Yeah, that's what you want to be focusing on. Absolutely. All right, we're going to jump now to Sunday because all of that was on Saturday. And now on Sunday, we have some more healing aspects. And the first one is that Chiron, who has been in the sign of Aries for a long time, was here last year, did the same thing where it goes retrograde around this time. So it's July 23rd to December 19th this time. And as it says here, when Chiron is direct, we look for healing outside. We go to the doctor, the shaman, the spiritual guru, the coach. When Chiron goes retrograde, we look for answers inside. We become our own medicine. I love that. I love that. And it's so important because this is also how we stretch and grow. When we begin to really trust what we are getting intuitively, trust our connection to our greater order and direction, trust what our bodies are saying to us. Yeah. What our emotions and our nervous system are needing. Like, it's time for you to lay down. You need to get off this computer and you need to lay down. That's what it'll say to me at night, and to be able to really Listen to that. Let that guide you. Yeah, really important. So that's what we have, the first one on the 23rd. This energy moving in. Again, it's Chiron is the wounded healer. So this is huge, wonderful healing energy for us. We also have on Sunday the square. And again, square, a little tight energy. This is Mercury in Leo squaring Jupiter in Taurus. And it says this aspect plans to wreak havoc on every part of our lives, especially when some hard words or an exclusion could injure your ego. Find your inner courage, practice forgiveness, and go be gentle and nurturing to yourself. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's almost like when this energy shows up like this, that one of the ways in which we get to be able to realize I can be trusting of myself is when you get some invalidation externally, and especially from family. Yeah, especially from family. That'll do it. So again, if you do experience that or you're experiencing it now, just remember they're being your evolutionary teachers. They're really helping you feel that pain. And you're the only one who can shift it up, not them. It's not about them. It's about you. It's about you. Because when we really know who we are and we feel good about ourselves, it don't matter what anybody says about it. We just be like, okay, yeah, you just have that. Yeah, have a good time with that. You just leave it alone. It really doesn't have. It's not an issue. But when it hits, you feel it, when it disrupts you, when you get activated, also triggered, that's an opportunity for you to choose to go in, find that inner courage and that true connection to who you really are. Yeah, exactly. Love it. Now we're going to jump ahead to Tuesday, the 25th. And thank goodness we get a little break in between from that weekend energy. Oh my God. And what we have here is really another very powerful energy. This is Pluto squaring the lunar nodes. And this starts on July 25th for them to be exact, because this has been going on really all month. It actually started when the nodes were in the signs of Taurus and Scorpio. They've now changed to Aries in the north and Libra in the south. And that's all having to do with relationships and, are we really who we really are, So Pluto right now is in retrograde in Capricorn, squaring those nodes. And here's what it says. Pluto square the lunar nodes will help us understand the subtle ways our identity is shaped by our upbringing, by our family, and our formative years. This transit is a huge opportunity to release karmic patterns that we've been carrying for decades. Hallelujah. Woohoo! Pluto square the lunar nodes mandate is to heal generational wounds, also called ancestral wounds, and to rewrite healthier, more constructive behavioral patterns. I can't tell you how important this is, folks. This is it. This is what it's about. We on the planet at this time are really being asked to let go of believing that we have to recreate, repeat, revive, hold on to all of the suffering and struggling that our ancestors did. No. And like the ancestors, they'd be screaming. They have been screaming, but they really screaming right now. Like, y'all did that. We don't need you to do what we've already accomplished. We need you to really be our dream. We need you to move out of the morass, to go forward, to taste the fruits, to live the dream of joy, happiness, happy endings. Yeah. And this is not easy. This is not easy. It is hard because, and there's a Lakota woman who says it best. She says, we get attached to the suffering of the ancestors through like a loyalty. Like we want to be loyal to them. And we say, like, how can we be happy? How can we be successful when our ancestors suffered so much? And it's really the opposite of what they want. They don't want that kind of loyalty. They want the loyalty of, oh, I'm learning from the fact that you already struggled. You already made a way. You already created an opening. I need to go through it. I need to step on it. I need to go big. Yeah. Yeah. And I think from now until the end of the year, all of us who can, but all of us, because the more of us do it, then it moves the entire planet. But I think all of us should set an intention to be consciously healing an ancestral wound that is blocking us from our happy endings in life. Yeah. And if you don't know what it is, open up to learning that, because this is key for humanity's growth and evolution into this new age of Aquarius. We have got to stop repeating the stuff that we already know doesn't work, and it's bad and it's harmful and it's painful. Yeah. So again, hard work. It's not easy, but we definitely can set an intention to do that, especially before the end of the year. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I am hold on for a minute, folks. I got somebody buzzing at me on the phone. I just want to let them know I'm broadcasting right now. Did you know that? Okay, I'll let you go. Tune in. I'll see you in a little bit. That's my great nephew. He's amazing. And I thought I got to let him know that I'm broadcasting right now so he can join in. Okay, Thursday, the 27th, we have this aspect, which is a sweet one. This is a sweet aspect. This is Mercury conjuncting Venus in Leo. And this is a great day to strut your stuff, as you'll feel confident in your skin. It's positive for introducing yourself to new people, giving a big presentation, or going on a first date. Charms are off the chart. Yeah, after all that deep, we got to heal, we got to get rid of these ancestral wounds. It's so wonderful that we can jump into, the sweet conjunction of these two heavenly bodies. And those are both two of the personal planets coming together. That's why it's so potent, Mercury and Venus. And in Leo, it's just really wonderful. And I think for a lot of us, this aspect, which I'll blow up again, is really going to bring you some hope. It's going to bring you like a glimpse to your future. It's going to be able to encourage you and inspire you to what? Yeah, find that inner courage and keep going. Yeah, absolutely. And then last but not least, next Friday, for the closeout of the astrological energies for July, we get Mercury entering Virgo. Now, Mercury in Virgo is the only placement where a planet is both in domicile and exaltation. This means that Mercury feels very good in Virgo and gets to do what Mercury does best: think, analyze, organize, articulate, communicate. And considering that thinking and communication, Mercury, are so important in our everyday life, this transit is good news for everyone. This is our opportunity to sort out our loose ends, solve communication problems, and figure things out. If you want to set up your website or write that book, now is the time. Woohoo! Yes, yes, yes. I'm very, very happy to hear this aspect showing up, especially at the end as part of the closeout of this month. Yeah, that'll be really, really sweet. So, there you have it. There you have it, folks. We are definitely doing it. Those astrologers are right. July ain't no joke. July ain't no joke. It is something else that we have going on here. So I am going to let these next 2 weeks really be vacation and as much rest time as I possibly can take and doing things I love to do, but really taking full advantage of being here in SoCal. And so I wish the same for all of you as these healing, deep healing energies are moving through us. Please be nurturing with yourself. Take it easy. Don't put yourself in situations that really are going to tax your energy, mess with your nervous system. If you can take time off, do that. Don't push it aside. I'll wait until the winter. No, take time while the weather is nice now here in the Northern Hemisphere to really let yourself rest. Because whether we like it or not, we're being stretched and grown. We've got healing energies and challenges and initiations going on. So we can really take care of ourselves. I'm going to stay on my baseball. Baseball saves my life. Baseball is life. And I hope that you two find something that you really love to do that's just going to help you relax and be like, so glad to be here. Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you so much for listening and for tuning in. I will be back again in August with astrology for then. And I also will be back to my live broad streams with Wisdom Walk Talk. And yeah, I'm wishing everyone a happy, joyous, loving rest time for the rest of July as together we're all healing and growing. Thank you for listening. Love you all. Bye-bye.